Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is me Jasneet Kaur. Before getting into the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. In today's video, we will continue with chapter 10 of class 12, that is Management of Support Services, Institutions and Programs for Children, Youth and Elderly. This video would be part 2. To know more about all parts of this chapter, you can check out the description box below, or you can click on the top right corner of your screens. Students, if you remember, in the last video, in the part 1 of this chapter, we have discussed that why are we focusing more on children, youth and elderly, where we have discussed we are focusing on these age groups specifically because they are more likely to get affected by tough situations or difficult situations. Talking about this, I had given you one home task where you all were supposed to list down the needs of children, youth, and elderly. I hope you all must have completed it. If you have not done till now, then kindly do it. Let's continue with the topic and understand that why children are vulnerable. Children are vulnerable because childhood is a time of rapid development, not only from the perspective of mental growth. In fact, all kind of developments take place during this time. It is observed development in one specific area leaves impact on the rest of all areas of development. Example, if a child's cognitive development doesn't take place effectively, the impact on language, social, emotional, and on physical development can be seen. So, the needs of food, shelter, healthcare, love, nurturance, and getting a suitable learning environment increases. All kind of children are vulnerable during this phase of their life, but some are more vulnerable than others due to lot of reasons, like if the child is living in challenging conditions, like children living with abusive parents, orphans, children who are abandoned by their parents, and many such conditions. It is observed if the basic need of the child are not met, it becomes difficult for the children to develop their full potential in terms of their growth and development. There are certain points mentioned in your NCERT book where the different conditions of the children are discussed, which I would like to discuss here. First point is nearly two-thirds of children under 5 years of age suffer from moderate or severe malnutrition. That means there are so many children who are not even getting adequate amount of balanced diet. About 3 million children live on the street without any shelter. Only 1 in 3 children which belongs to preschool age gets the opportunity to get into a learning program. Moving on to the next, less than half of India's children between 6 and 14 years of age go to school. Means the ones who are not going to school are involved into either in child labor or into malpractices which are definitely not suitable as per their age group. The next point says that there are huge number of children who are drop out of school, means they leave school due to some or the other reason. The reason can be work or can be lack of support from the family, or they get inclined towards criminal activities. The last point says 70 million children in India work. It means you can see the number of child laborers involved in our country. If not child labor, then these children are forced to get into begging, child trafficking, and much more such activities. I'm sure the numbers which are mentioned are very less than the actual numbers. The actual numbers would definitely be even more. There are children who are in difficult circumstances, need lot of love, care and protection. But some of them may violate the law or get involved in antisocial activity. There is a term we use to refer such children who involve themselves into heinous crimes: juvenile delinquents. Juvenile means young or teenage. Delinquent means the one who commit crime. Juvenile justice care and protection of children focuses on the children who are of 16 to 18 years of age and have done some sort of crime. Can be from stealing to somebody's murder. This act has two categories. One is children, those who are in conflict with law, and second, who are considered to be in need of care and protection. The children who are in conflict with law are also called as juvenile delinquents. These are those who have been caught and arrested by the police for violating the Indian Penal Code. The Act provides special approach towards preventing children to commit any crime and also focus on giving relevant positive treatment to the children who have committed some crime. In other terms, if I say, this act provides a framework for the protection, treatment and rehabilitation of children. Rehabilitation is the action of restoring someone to healthy or to a normal life through trainings and therapies. It focuses on bringing positive change in children's life. Both the categories of children are entitled to get a proper care, protection and treatment. It is possible by implementing those methods which are likable and are beneficial for the children. The category of children who are in need of care and protection are those who are homeless. That means those children who are without any home or any shelter and their survival is difficult. This includes children who are left out by their parents, children living on streets, runaway children, and missing children. Second one is who are living with guardians who are unfit. This means where the chances of child being killed, abused, or neglected by the guardians are high. The next one says children who are mentally and physically challenged, ill, or suffering from chronic illness or incurable diseases and have no one who can support or look after them. The other category of children is who are abused, tortured, or exploited for the purpose of sexual abuse or illegal acts. The next one is the children who have high chances of getting into drug abuse and the children who are victims of any war or natural calamity. The last one is the children who are likely to be abused for unconscionable gain. Unconscionable gain means where the chances of unfair practices are high. This includes children who are trafficked, who are rescued from red light areas, child laborers, rescued from factories, children who are lost, special needs children, and children of prisoners. Students, in the next video of this chapter, we will continue discussing this topic as well as we will talk about certain institutions, programs, and initiatives which are working to create safe environment for children. That's all for today. I'll get back to you with my next video. If you come across any doubt, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon. Bye bye and take care.